Okay, so when you're in the fight phase, something that I need to get a little clarity on.
Yes.
So when you charge, and let's say you have multiple units that charge, so you're in multiple fights, right? So you say you're the player, you go first.
Yes.
On the fight phase. Are you before you actually start rolling dice? Are you saying I want to go first on this one, and then I'm saying, well, I want to fight this one?
So there's an order of operations. After charges have been successful, overwatches have been resolved, and charges have been resolved, then you go into the fight phase. There's an order of operations of what units get to go, because no longer is it initiative based. We've talked about this before. Initiative's out the window, and now we just have unit activation priorities.
Right.
And priority number 1 is
Units that charge.
units that charged.
There are units that we've already seen
That have exception.
in leaks and in faction focuses that have shown that they have exception to this.
Like Demonettes with their Quicksilver.
Actually, we weren't shown the Quicksilver rule, but we were told, in
that
a
it lets
faction
them-
focus that's going to be
Yeah.
So actually, every Slanesh demon has Quicksilver.
Yes.
And
And
that's scary.
And then certain items that you load out, equipment that you can take will affect that. Or stratagems as well.
Right.
We've talked about stratagems. But the priority is chargers. All units that charge get to swing first.
Yep.
So you charge with 3 squads. Those 3 squads are attacking first.
And then it follows with the active player gets to activate a unit first, which means the guy that charged, his charges go first, and then if he has any other units still in combat from like a prior turn, he gets to activate that unit to fight.
Which is really nice, so it really benefits to be on your turn during the fight phase. You have that advantage because you got to make those charges, and all of a sudden, even after you're done with them, you still get to go first, and then it goes back
and then the defending player goes, and then the active, and then it just alternates until all units have been
There will definitely be a lot of strategy involved in this. We saw this in Age of Sigmar, where, the combat phase and the order in which you did them has so much strategy involved in it. Oh, it's so much fun. I can't wait to experience that in 40K.
Yeah, it's gonna
especially with all these really powerful close combat weapons. Oh, man. Knights, too. Oh,
it's gonna be so
the
good.
stomping and the
feet.
The feet and
The
the
little feet.
and the friggin' thunder fist. Oh,
so good.
so cool.
So similar to shooting, you can allocate your
Again,
attacks?
allocating, so similar in the shooting phase, as long as you're within a range, I believe it's 1 inch, the model can allocate.
And this is not by weapon.
No, not by weapon. It is by model.
It's by models and,
Yeah, models in the fight, engaged units. So you get to divvy up your attacks if you're engaging multiple units, as long as there's range.
Right.
And then, say I can put this power fist attack over there and the other power fist attack over, the other attack over there, and just resolve that as. But again, got to commit to it.
You have to commit to
So
it.
it does say that if a model can make more than 1 close combat attack, it can split them between eligible targets.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's going to be really powerful for characters like Abaddon, for these really take your lunch money, kind of thrash you in close combat kind of models. These bullies are going to really be able to just be like, all right, well, I know I'm going to hit, and statistically, I know I'm going to wound with this really powerful weapon that could kill you. So I'm just going to put 1 on that guy, and then 1 on that guy, and then 3 on this guy. So you can really just if you know what you're doing and you have some confidence in what your model's weapons can do and his stats, you can fully plan out, be like, all right, well, I'm going to kill all these guys because I'm just going to split them out perfectly, and I know that chances are I'm going to roll well enough that they're
I'm
going
just
to die.
going to force all the morale checks.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you don't, so now let's say I have 5 attacks, and I say, okay, I'm attacking this unit. Do I need to say these 5 models within that unit, or is it splitting 2 into this unit and 3 into another unit?
It's as long as there's a part of the unit that is within range of those said units allocated. If all the attacks are the same,
it'll spread and go amongst.
Yeah, as long as the range is there. There is rules for, like I said, range by the models, so you got to measure that way.
So if you have a power axe over here and the second unit that you're attacking is on this side,
you obviously can't.
Power axe cannot swing.
You got to swing to the closest.
It's got to swing to the closest. But your 3 Marines that are over here are within range to swing at this unit, so they would be able to do that.
Okay.
It's all about that 1 inch range.
Yes.
So
After that, wound allocation is the same.
yep.
It follows the same thing,
boom,
except
boom.
rather than using ballistic skill to
weapon skill?
you're going to be using weapon skill. So, but otherwise, it follows the same step phase as the shooting phase.
Yep, same strength and toughness chart in terms of dealing out wounds.
Damage, saves, all of that stuff.
all the same.
But then we get into this new phase, phase 6, the morale phase.
You mean consolidate?
Oh, of
Consolidate?
course,
That's
there's the
new?
consolidate. No,
Oh, is that new?
No, it's not.
Oh,
You're right.
okay.
You're absolutely right.
I was like,
So
wait,
that's 3-inch
I don't see a
consolidation,
new mark. Next
which is nice.
They
You- I
do
mean, we've
both have
always had
number
that.
sixes,
which
so
was
I see how
actually
you were
which was
confused.
actually something
Thanks,
that
Brad.
which was actually something that I didn't do.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, that's right. We did not do that in the.
Yeah.
You know, it was your first game in 8th.
Yeah.
But the game was over.
Yeah. Well, no, in the
first time you
first
didn't do
combat.
So after I fell back.
No, it would be before you fell
At
back.
the end of my turn.
You could have.
the end of
So
my fight
when he was
phase.
surrounding your one remaining suit, he could have further surrounded.
Okay.
Yeah, and got him in a little more tough situation. Push me
So,
closer.
so the consolidate is a little different because you're not just consolidating when the close combat is over.
it's-
You're doing it while you're.
I'm
still in
I'm
close
assuming
combat,
from what I'm reading that it's like the end of combat phase pylon.
Yeah, it's essentially a 3-inch pile.
So I get to move as long as I'm still within range of the target unit. As long as I'm still closer to the target unit, I can move 3 inches in any direction
And
I wish, and somehow pull in another unit maybe.
Well, that
So-
and keep in mind that you're swinging and you're rooted. So if you kill off the first wave of enemies, you need to be within 1-inch range. If you're
Yeah,
fighting
so
a horde,
consolidate.
you need that 3-inch consolidation to move into contact with the.
It's supposed to
of the models.
mitigate any chance of you pulling your
being,
dudes
pulling
out of combat.
by accident.
By
right.
by well no by
Or
tactically.
intentionally, yeah.
Yeah, by like if I had all guys right here, and then you just pulled and I killed like 6 dudes, and you just pulled these 6.
You're not in combat
And there's
mode.
like 4 inches there.
You didn't even have to fall back.
Yeah,
So, not the case anymore.
yeah.
You have to consolidate 3 inches. It has to be closer to the closest enemy model,
Yep.
and you can use it to pull someone else into combat.
Yes.
As long as you are moving closer, so
Closer to the
it's not
target
going to work
unit.
in every situation. It's not like you can be able to consolidate to the right
Yeah,
and pull
yeah. You're
someone
not
in.
going to go way out there. You
I
still
mean,
have to.
it doesn't say the target unit. It just says the nearest enemy.
Oh, does
oh,
it?
that's true.
That's a good.
So it's
that's
just
a really
it
good
says
point.
it says this move can be in any direction so long as the model ends the move closer
Well,
to the nearest
that
enemy
just
model.
means
So I
really
just
good
get a free movement at the end of the fight phase. I should have done that.
3 inches to go as close as you want to other
Yeah,
people.
and that's a free 3-inch move to engage any model, any unit that's
that you
within
could
range.
possibly essentially.
So if any
Well, it
unit
has to
that
be
is
the closest, though,
Closest,
right?
yeah.
well, here's the that's true. That's very true.
So there is a little give and take there where it's like, well, if you're in combat with these guys, but I have another unit that's closer,
Well,
It punishes.
but
the
what if
theoretically-
I just wipe that whole unit?
Yeah.
Then I just
then
get a
you
free
should
3-inch.
then you should be able. You have to move 3 inches towards.
Yeah,
closest
which
enemy.
The
like if
closest.
you're within 4 inches, you're engaged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So any unit like old 6th edition Tau, their
Yes.
like gunline castle that
Yeah,
they used to
the
do.
Taudar.
You came into there and then just
Clean
wipe
house.
one unit. You could clean house. Just
Yeah.
can constantly be consolidating
Oh,
into combat.
would feel so good.
It would feel so good. Who wants to? You want to play a 6th edition Tau list and just
Against
No, I want to
eighth
go
edition
on to
rules?
the. I
rules?
want to go on to the actual new phase that you were so.
Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah.
yes, I got ahead of myself. The morale phase.
Morale phase. So in 7th edition, we did all the leaderships and pretty much every phase.
Every phase that it needed to happen. right?
Yeah, which was excessive. So they kind of like they've kind of consolidated
They're like,
everything.
nah,
to
calm
this-
down. You can morale now.
Yeah,
at the end of the phase.
When you're done, when all things are said and done, take a breather, take toll, and
And then run away.
yeah, and then run away, and then decide whether or not you should run away. Which is pretty simple. We've talked about it before. It's a 1-to-1 with the Age of Sigmar bravery system.
Yeah.
Battle shock test.
Love
where-
it. It's really good. I
Yeah.
mean, we saw in their game that it doesn't always like if you roll well, it's all right.
If
you
you
rolled
if you
poorly,
lost 2 models, that would have been bad for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been super bad.
but it more often than not, if you didn't lose that many models,
Yep.
it's not really going to affect you.
So the way it works now is at the end of the last thing that happens is you take these tests and you address any units that lost models, and you take that toll of how, that tally of how many models were lost in that unit, roll a d6, and then you add that to that number, and you compare it to your leadership, and the difference between those two numbers is how many additional models run off the board.
that is a difference only on the over side.
Yes,
Not difference.
Over. Yes.
It'd be so funny. We're really brave. I'm out though.
Yeah.
And you
I'm gonna be
also
really
you
brave
start
this one.
with whoever's player turn it is as well.
Yeah. Active player again. So.
Yep.
I think this really lends itself to why these games are going so much faster. Not only have we seen, as far as all the other leagues go, point crunches that we're having smaller. A lot of armies are going to be a little bit smaller on their model count. I know that my 5-knight list just got crunched down to 4 most likely, with a few like hanging points that I'll have to figure out what to do with.
Yeah.
I'll probably just go to 2,500 and bump it up to 6 knights.
Yep.
Pow!
Just play at a higher point game, which is one of the 2 outcomes. But yeah, damage output's higher.
Love it. I love all this stuff. I'm sure I'm going to play a game against someone and I'm not going to love it because they're going to just like wreck me. But I'm so excited conceptually to be wrecked right now.
Yeah, no, the games are going to be super quick because things are either going to be dying or running away.
Yeah. And honestly, a faster game, even when I'm losing, I like a faster game because either I get to do another round or I get to go home and cry. I mean, like, either way, I'm winning.
So, I mean, that about does it for the rules.
That pretty much nails it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's it here for Wartorn Creative. Once again, I'm Brad. This is Gavin and Jared. That was the leaked rules for 8th edition.
Core rules.
Core rules.
Yeah.
Obviously, we'll be getting into them more in depth when they actually come out. So stay tuned for more content from us. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the fun things below. What is your favorite rule? New rule change? Obviously,
What's your
Gavin's
favorite
is
core rule?
morale phase. Tell us below. See you then.